I am Red Cyclone! Yeah!
Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. I'm your host, Louis Beans, and I'm with Merc with the mic.
What's going on?
So I saw something that I think you might be interested in, Merc. I bet you your version of The Last of Us doesn't have the characters randomly just get wet like they fell in the river. There's a glitch that somebody posted on the PC version because it just came out.
Yeah.
Last of Us just debuted on PC, I believe.
That's
it was this
part
past
one,
week.
right?
Yes, part one.
Yeah,
obviously,
remastered.
part two is gonna be a while. So
No, I think part two
it's
is
not
earlier.
on PC.
No, I know part one is the remastered version that's on there, right? The full remake.
Well, the way Sony does their things, it takes a
Oh,
long
okay.
time for their games to get on. Like God of War, was it Ragnarok, the second one? That's gonna take a long time to get on PC. So like part two of Last of Us is gonna take a while. But the funny thing is, it's not exactly bug free,
Okay.
and so there's a few things that are legitimately issues and stuff. But man, it's hilarious when you're watching it because it happens in cutscenes, and it just looks like the characters are profusely sweating because it's
Yeah.
just. But the way the water just flies off of their body when they turn their heads and stuff, it just has me dying laughing. And then there's a picture of like Joel's face rendering
Yeah.
like the wrong way, so he looks like a completely different man. There's some funny stuff, dude. I'm gonna try to get you the video so you can see it. But right now I'm looking at GameSpot, and they have like the patch list and stuff, so you can see it. Like I might wait.
Okay.
I'm definitely not getting it day one.
Yeah.
I mean, week one, but I'm gonna wait a little bit, and I might pick it up there because I remember I the only version of The Last of Us I have is the original
Yeah.
PS3 to PS4 version. Remember when they
Okay.
did that?
Yeah.
I don't have this version of the game. So.
Yeah. This is the PS5 remake of it.
Mhm. Yeah. It's not the old game. The old game was already on PC.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I saw the news article about it. I saw some of the glitches, but they saying like the PC one is not great right now. That's crazy. So that's gonna make part two take a lot longer then. Like, yeah, we're gonna wait now. All I see is like toys popping up on my feed, and because WrestleMania weekend was this weekend, so they're showing all the stuff that are coming. And then also I saw the Biker Mice from Mars figures are getting remastered. I don't even know the company, but I know they're getting remade.
As in, they came out and then they're gonna do them again.
So they made the original. Well, they're based off the original figures.
And the original from what the
90s.
How long ago was that? 90s. Okay.
Yeah. So they kind of look like the original figures. It's just them three, no motorcycle, which kind of that bothers me. I was like, they need their motorcycle. Like that's what.
Yeah, I mean they're called biker mice. Come on,
Yeah.
what's up with that?
But it's supposed to look just like the original figures, which they capture it. But I wish there was like more movement on the figure, at least like update it, because
They have ball joints. They
Yeah.
had the arms have ball joints, so they should be all right.
Yeah, but yeah, I saw them. They look alright. They're gonna be like $36. I'm not sure what company. It's a new company. I have never heard of them before, so they look cool though. There's a chance I may.
I mean,
I
at
may have to look at them
$36,
in
you got to
person.
be a fan, cause
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I may have to see them in person before I okay it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the
Mm-hmm.
bike mice from her, so I was a fan when I was a kid.
That sounds like Canadian prices,
Right?
which is funny because shout outs to the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, the video version this week. There's a video of Heath and Brian Myers, and they were in Canada for like the last Impact event, and they go to a Toys R Us.
Yeah.
I went up in Canada.
Yes, they're still up there.
You don't go hunting for anything specific, but they do find some. They do show like some of the racks and stuff. So
Yeah.
they show you like the WWE and the AEW rack, and then they show like the Universal Monsters rack,
Yeah.
which they have now. Like they just have a whole section, and I guess because it's a recent figure edition, they made a bunch of Universal Monster figures.
Yeah, they did because
But the interesting thing is they have the turtles in that rack.
yeah, they kind of came out like simultaneously with each other. So when they made when the Turtle came out, like a month later, the Frankenstein came out. When the Mummy came out, Mikey, the Mummy came out like a month later and shit. So 'cause they all kind of came out simultaneously, and then the Visible Man, Donatello, Visible Man, regular one came out too.
Okay, so do you know if it's the same company that made both?
Nah,
figures?
yeah, it's NECA.
Okay.
But in the United States, NECA has a deal with Target, so they exclusively get a lot of the NECA figures. As in Canada, the exclusive rights is nowhere, so they could go in Toys R Us and everywhere else.
Mm-hmm. So I see like at the bottom they have the Usagi, the black and white. They got the Last Ronin down there.
Yeah, I got those two.
And a bunch of other, I guess like you said, the monster versions of the turtles spread around.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see, to just look at what the inside of theirs looks like. I guess it probably just hasn't changed because it just looks like a Toys R Us.
Yeah.
It looks like how it used to, how I envisioned it before. Like I guess they closed down. Like the bigger ones that were basically the entire building was a Toys R Us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's rebranded and they went in and they redid the shelves and redid the signs and things like that. It's pretty simple. So, but it's interesting because they're not here. They're not down here.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because they remember they're supposed to come back.
Well, they're more like a boutique store now. It's not even like they don't carry everything. They only have like kids' toys and stuff like that. They're very small scale.
Do they have any open yet?
In the mall, that American Mall in Jersey, there's one there. There's a couple of them, not a lot.
Okay. A lot of dinosaur stuff. What's up with that?
So Ringside is showing a bunch of so I think we talked about it last week. They showed the Nitro set, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're showing the soft goods that it comes with. So it shows like the Hogan shirt with the soft goods, the Rey Mysterio jacket, the Warrior jacket, and stuff like that. It looks actually really nice. I still won't buy into it though.
That's the least of what came out because there's like a mountain of wrestling figures that came out.
The face scans are ridiculous. I'll say that. Like that was one thing that really stood out to me with the new run of figures that are coming out. That Austin Theory I need. Like I think I need to get that Austin Theory. Because the face scans are fucking ridiculous. They did announce a lot of figures coming out. They're announcing that, like WrestleMania, they're highlighting some of the costumes they want to do for the run this year. But they announced so much stuff between their bunch of their lines. They have like a Hasbro line-ish. They have their new Muscle Man line kind of thing. And then they also have their old school line, and they just announced so much stuff throughout the whole thing. It's just ridiculous to catch up with things. The one that stood out, like I said, was Theory's face. It was fucking crazy. I might have to get the Captain America looking one. The Seth Rollins Ultimate looks ridiculous. With the fur and the rainbow jacket and shit. Did you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
That one looks ridiculous because the fur and stuff. A few that kind of took my eye that I kind of want. are well, the Theory, the Rhea, those are current sets. Dakota Kai I might have to get because that's her first lead. I'll get Stardust. I like that Defining Moments one with Shawn Michaels, Cody, Mick Foley, and Brett, the all pink Brett.
Now, is that supposed to be separate, or there's like a deal?
It's a box set,
they're having.
It's a box set, yeah. So there's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of done. So if you go to RedCyclone Collectibles, they'll show you everything. They even had a bunch of prototypes on display that's coming later on this year. We got a new Beth Phoenix coming. Looks like another Batista coming. I don't know who that is. Who is that? There's a Virgil coming.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Does he come with a table?
It's the
and some
old
t-shirts?
Virgil. It looks like when he was a babyface.
So the pinstripes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So there's a lot of stuff coming out. So if you're a wrestling figure fan, look at what they were showcasing because they showcase a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff here. Yeah. The NECA wise, I'm still trying to get the rest of the foot gang, the gang that has the mutants and stuff like that. I'm missing one of them, so I'm trying to get that one. The horror ones are coming out, like you were saying. The turtle horror ones, they started showing up in stores, and I gotta get Donatello, Splinter, Casey Jones, and I saw that it wasn't shown, but I saw that Shredder's gonna be the vampire.
Okay.
I think that's
so. Does
cool.
that mean Dracula, or is that
Dracula?
generic?
Count Dracula, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm actually really interested in see what they do with that.
I mean, that should be actually really cool.
They all look good. They all look good. They all look fantastic. So
I don't know what money they've been giving the Turtles recently, but with Shredder being in Call of Duty, they seem to be popping up
Turtles
everywhere.
like,
man.
You got money? All right, you can have him. Hey, we want to put him in the cupcake. Okay, what money you got? Okay, you can have it. That's exactly what they're doing with the license. They're teaming up with freaking like Cobra Kai. They're teaming up with Street Fighter. Ninja Turtles, I think, is everywhere right now. Like I think there's a version of a Ninja Turtle somewhere in somewhere place. Like I think there is a version of one at least. But hey, man, whatever pays the bills, I guess.
So they don't fade it into obscurity.
The Shredder looked pretty dope, though. I saw some gameplay. He looked pretty dope, and you get some cool weapons off of him.
Yeah, he's the movie Shredder, and he looks really good. Extremely accurate, which is good. You don't want to pay money because I know they charge a lot of money for those skins.
Yeah.
So at least it looks like he looks like the damn thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The other thing I saw today, which was cool, I think it was this morning or last night, they debuted the second Spider-Verse trailer.
Yeah. That
like it says official trailer number 2 on it. This one, I don't remember exactly the first one, but this one is more or less giving you more story beats.
Yeah.
It's showing, what is his name? Polka Dot? Spot. It shows Spot, which actually, from this little tiny bit they show of the interactions, he looks like a funny character. They show Miles and his parents, a little bit of his school life. They show you the premise of the Spider-Verse, like hangout or whatever it's called, where all the Spider people hang out. They said, like, just flat out that Spider-Man 2099 is responsible for it.
Yeah.
The way they make it seem is like he's the primary antagonist because he's basically just constantly telling Miles, "You don't belong here." He's like the guy in Ghost.
He talks shit to about Doctor Strange and Tom Holland Spider-Man too in the trailer.
I wonder if they're gonna be in it.
Who knows? But he blamed him for something. He blamed him for something.
Just the way it seems is like he's like the primary antagonist. I'm sure there'll probably be somebody else who's a bad guy, but it's a lot of back and forth, actually fighting on top of a train with those two. So
Yeah,
it's an interesting take. I like that.
he's seen all the
Um,
Spider-Man.
they do it has the clip that everybody like jumped out of this. I would imagine everybody will jump out of their seats for the meme.
Yeah,
The
that's
Spider-Man
funny.
pointing. You mean me? You mean me?
Scarlet look cool.
Yeah, they have Scarlet Spider. They have
Punk Spider.
Ben Riley Spider, which looks actually really cool.
Yeah.
What's the other? The one sitting in a chair doing the psychologist Spider-Man.
Psychiatry Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty funny. And then the one sitting in the chair crying, laying on the thing, like you hear him crying, kicking his little feet. The other thing they showed was they introduced this version of May.
Yeah.
That's gonna be from Peter, sleepy, depressed Peter.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh yeah, Mayday
That's pretty
Parker
cool.
makes her debut. Yeah.
hmm
That's cool.
So there's like a lot. There's a lot that they show in a small amount. It's like a 2.5 minute, almost 3 minute trailer, and it's really good. It's really good. But it leaves me with more questions. I wonder what who the bad guy is. It can't be 2099. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite Spider-Man. Come
Yeah.
on, don't do that.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see where it goes. And this is only part 1. Part 2 is already being filmed as well.
So there's
It's gonna be 2
Across the
parts.
Spider-Verse is 2 different. Okay.
Part 1 and part 2. Yeah.
That's very
It's gonna have the
presumptuous
same
of them.
title. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about them just announcing that like that.
No, they originally said it when they first announced this movie. It said it's gonna be 2 parts.
Okay.
They 100% announced it when they first mentioned the movie.
Gotcha.
But I'm excited to see where it goes. Mario comes out this week. That's gonna be a big movie this weekend. I've been so backed up with movies, but I might try to catch a matinee of it and try to catch it because it looks really fun.
The only thing I saw that really made me want to see the movie was the fact that when Luigi gets split up, he goes to Luigi's mansion.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Wait a second. They did that? Okay.
They're doing a lot of things that they're even like just like the Mario theme song being in it made me happy with the commercial. The Mario Brothers deployment the game.
Scott Steiner, he doesn't like it.
Nah, he's a jerk. That is crazy. Well, there was another trailer that popped up. Guardians got a second trailer as well. And there was one more. Fuck, what was the other movie that got a trailer this week? Oh, the Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle got a trailer this week.
I know nothing about that. I know that's was that a character from DC?
Yeah,
Okay.
the kid from Cobra Kai that was the student of
That's
the Spanish kid. Yeah, he's.
I've never
him.
seen Cobra Kai. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who he is.
He's the main protagonist of Cobra Kai. He's the one that trains with the Cobra Kai kid, the Cobra Kai dude and shit like that. He's playing Blue Beetle. I think it actually is. It looks interesting. It looks like it could be a fun movie. James Gunn's saying that this is actually going to be canon with his universe, so hopefully they're going to keep it moving. But it looks really cool. I kind of like the CGI on its suit and how the suit looks and stuff like that. It actually looks very close to what it looks like in Injustice and stuff. So it's pretty detailed and it looks pretty good. It looks like it's gonna be a fun movie. I heard Shazam 2 was decent.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in Injustice too.
Oh, Injustice 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He was actually really good in it too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's another trailer that popped up this week. So it was that in Across the Universe. Oh, yesterday.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Okay. That sounds cool. I will check that one out. He does not sound like a person who is on fire like the Flash. So.
Yeah. All right. Are we get into this movie? Do we have anything else?
No, that's it.
Oh,
I think
a
that's about
new
it.
live-action Street Fighter movie is in the works.
No, they said a movie, or is this going to be a TV show?
Instead of live action movie.
Because I did see something about a television show also.
Hmm.
Like maybe a series, not a full-fledged network show, but
what I'm reading from IGN is a live action Street Fighter featured film is being developed by Legendary Entertainment. They did Godzilla vs. King Kong.
do they have they had any video game properties before?
Legendary Studios, Legendary.
Because don't tell me they did Legend of Chun-Li, because I'll be bad.
So they actually have a pretty good movie list. So they did. So Legendary Films did from Due Date, Wrath of Titans, Dracula Untold. Oh, they did Superman Returns, so I ain't gonna count that one. They did Sucker Punch. They did Jack the Bean Giant
Sucker
Slayer.
Punch is kind of booty too. Wait a second, you ain't winning me over.
They
yet.
got Trick or Treat. They did Watchmen.
Okay.
They did the sequel to 300. I don't know how that was. They got some good. They got some bad. They did Jurassic World. They did Batman Begin. They did all three Batmans. They did Man of Steel. They did Inception. They did the Pokemon Detective Pikachu. There you go. That's a video game
Detective
property.
Pikachu. All right.
They did Detective Pikachu. They did Pacific Rim 1 and 2.
I see. I still have to watch those.
And they did Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. They also did Kong Skull Island. And they're doing a sequel of Godzilla vs. Kong.
Okay. All right.
So they're in good hands. Who they will cast, I don't know. And you know that we are going to be very, very angry if you cast the wrong people, even though we don't know who should play them.
You know what? I was just about to say, for the cast, I'm so not in tune with who's current or anything. Like you telling me about the star of another movie, I don't know who it is. I could care less nowadays who's in a movie, as long as it's not trash.
Yeah.
We've watched so many movies that are
Legend of Chun-Li. Don't do Legend of Chun-Li.
Yes.
That's it. That's all I ask.
But speaking of the movies like that and the list that we're gonna do, we're gonna continue with X-Men Origins Wolverine.
You're dreading this day.
I know the names of the people in this movie, and this movie's garbage. So I hold no stock in the stars of a movie. I just hope it's directed well.
Yeah.
Because that's my feelings on this movie. So we can get into it. That X-Men Origins Wolverine is our movie for this week. It is from 2009, PG-13, rated. It is an hour 47. Release date. It says April 27th was the premiere. What's the regular day was May 1st. Interesting, May 1st. Okay, 2009. Directed by Gavin Hood.
I know nothing he did.
I'm looking and I'm trying to see Ender's Game, and I think is the most famous thing I've heard that he's done. I don't know if that's good. I did not see that. He did one episode of Stargate SG-1. I was about to say he did Stargate. No, he did one episode. He did Operation Delta Force 3.
You know that wasn't good.
No, because it does not have Chuck Norris, because the old Operation Delta Forces did. I'm just trying. The Redemption Kickboxer 5? Was that the good Kickboxer? I don't think that was. That was the one with
Mark Dacascos.
I see Mark Dacascos on the cover.
Yes, that was that.
I mean, he is a homie, but I did not see this movie, so I don't know if it's good or not.
It wasn't that good.
That's 95, so yeah.
Straight to the VHS movies.
I mean, I think everything after Kickboxer 1 was straight to DVD.
Yeah.
I mean, VHS.
Yeah, 100%. Because you had The one with
The
the
second
dude
one I
that
think was
Cody.
the
you know?
Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Step by Step.
Yeah,
Which I
yeah.
thought was cool. It wasn't a bad
I
movie.
think 3 and
A
4 he
dude,
was in.
that movie has a scene that was stuck with me for the rest of my life. A dude gets like heel kicked in his head and just a strip of his skin just right off his
There you
head.
go.
And I was like, what?
That's more
That was
memorable
crazy.
than this movie.
I don't know, man. There's some memorable stuff, but not for a good reason. Not for a good reason. And who do we blame? Screenplay by David Benioff and Skip Woods. You guys, all three of you, and director Gavin Hood. I blame you guys.
Yeah, I blame him.
That's all I gotta say. I blame you guys because this movie stars Hugh Jackman as Logan/Wolverine. Good actor. Lee Schreiber as Victor Creed. Good actor. Danny Huston as Stryker. I know he's a decent actor. Will.i.am as John Wraith.
It's his fault.
No, he was only in. We typically blame Black Eyed Peas members for bad movies. He was barely in this movie.
They give him. It gives it a bad juju. That's why.
I'll accept that, but like upon rewatching this movie, he was barely in it.
Yeah.
Lynn Collins as Kayla Silverfox. Kevin Durant as Fred Dukes. Dominic Monaghan as Chris Bradley/Bolt. Taylor Kish as Remy LeBeau. Danielle Henney as Agent Zero. Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson.
Not Deadpool.
Tim Pocock as Scott Summers. Julia Blake as Heather Hudson. Max Cullen as Travis Hudson.
Those are the grandparents that got shot up. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I know. They have Troy Sivan as James. Michael James Olsen as young Victor. Peter O'Brien as John Howlett. Aaron Jeffrey as Thomas Logan. Alice Parkinson as Elizabeth Howlett. I think that's about as far as we need to go.
Yeah.
There was a few cameos from other characters, for other like mutants and stuff that.
Like Emma Frost.
Weapon 11.
Emma Frost.
Scott Adkins was Weapon. That was Scott Adkins. Oh, poor guy. Scott Adkins, a badass martial artist.
Who he was?
He was Weapon 11. He was the one with the face all taped. He was the Deadpool that got messed up.
Oh yeah, see, it's all your fault. So.
That sucks. Damn, that was him. I feel bad now.
Yeah, he has worse.
No, he doesn't. Not in this movie.
Oh, he has some really bad cameos.
No. I know he's been in like the equivalent of direct-to-DVD movies, but worse than this? I don't know.
Well, this was being the higher scale.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because it is a theatrical and it has the X-Men name on it.
Because he's been in 2 movies I will vouch for. I think it was Universal Soldier: The Return. Which
that was really good.
That was a trippy movie.
No, that was the third one, not the second one. Because second one was with Goldberg. He was the one after that.
Yeah,
that was just no talking. It was just fighting.
That was a crazy movie.
That was
Van
good.
Damme was like the bad guy, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
Dolph Lundgren was like this, whacked out in the hotel. It was crazy. That movie was nuts.
Yeah, that was cool.
And the Kickboxer with Batista as the main bad guy, where Scott Adkins was the main.
Yeah.
And the hero. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was pretty
Batista.
good. Yeah, that's about it. Well, they do have a Professor Charles Xavier, and it is Patrick Stewart, uncredited. Okay. Poor guy. Shouldn't have been in the movie. He just wanted to check. So this basically is the retelling of Wolverine's newer at the time origin, the one where they cleared it up, the one where they made him named James Howlett.
Yeah.
The one where they had he had the family where the groundskeeper was actually his father.
Yeah.
And he shot the believed father, and apparently he was sleeping with the mother enough to have 2 kids, because Sabretooth is also his brother.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also in the family, so it was kind of what was going on in that house, man. Just chicanery.
It's a big house.
Yeah, I guess so.
You'll be on
But
the
just-
east side cheating and the west side you don't know what's going
And just
on.
both of the, I guess, because there's no DNA testing. But you just gotta take the word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're yours.
Like, why
They're
is this
yours.
kid very hairy?
So with this, yeah.
My
what's going
grandfather
on?
was hairy.
I guess so. That was a part of the story that always just struck me as weird. Like, damn,
Yeah.
2 kids? 2 kids? All right.
You didn't. You didn't think about the first one.
You didn't think about the first one?
Like, damn, he a little vicious over there.
Yeah. So they go through that. They basically have their version of the retelling of that version of his origin, which became the accepted version of his origin. Because remember, Wolverine for years had different origins.
He was just Logan.
He was just Logan.
Then they gave him a name, first and last name,
Yeah.
James Howlett.
And they gave him a starting period because also with that Logan and not having a definitive origin, he was kind of timeless and ageless because he was around for so many different periods. So you never really knew which one was his definitive start. So then they gave it a start. So they do that. And then they're also a part of that because you got to remember it's not a big deal. But back then, when they did it, it was a big deal to give him the bone claws at his birth.
Yeah.
To say that he was a mutant, that the claws were a part of his power set.
Yeah.
So they have that here, and that's how he kills his actual father, which I guess you didn't have a healing factor, bub. So he's straight up dead. And then him and his brother Victor, which is Sabretooth, they run off. And then they have the montage of them throughout history fighting in different wars because that's just what they do. They just murk people.
Yeah.
Now that part, I don't know if that was actually how it was, if they stayed together throughout history like that. Do you remember if that was like an actual thing or if that was something they just had a plot for this movie for?
Oh, say it again?
The part where where Wolverine and Sabretooth throughout history were together.
They kind of did it with Wolverine, not Sabretooth being with him.
So
Because
so they
Captain
just-
America knew Logan because of the war. He enlisted in World War II. So when Captain America first came out, first became Captain America, he knew James Howlett before. Well, he knew him as Logan, but he served with him at the war, part of the Canadian reinforcements.
Okay. So the Sabretooth thing was basically just for this movie.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They kind of added that towards the origin when they did the side stories of the origin books.
Okay.
But they never were he was not in every war with him and shit like that. But they kind of showed that they were both military, especially in Canada and stuff like that. They were special ops eventually and things like that. So they always was in that kind of line of things.
Okay. And then they have the Weapon X program. Well, the weapon program here because they mention there's specifically when he's going through the procedure that he's Weapon X, and then the U.S. government guy goes, huh? And he goes Weapon 10.
Yeah.
So they make it clear that there were 9 before him. But how we even get to that point was because Wolverine, when he left their special forces team, which was that unit that is well known that had Sabretooth, Sabretooth, Maverick, and a few other characters. In this one, they put Deadpool in it. Well, Deadpool I think was in it.
Deadpool
Right?
was always in it. He was.
Deadpool was in it.
I think he was if he was categorized, he was weapon. He was weapon 11, I think. Because he was after Wolverine, but he went.
Okay.
He was after Wolverine, but he went in for his healing because it's cancer, and they promised him. So his power, his healing factor came.
Well, was he in that trio? Well, not trio. Was he in their actual unit fighting with them and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So they have this movie's version of that unit.
Yeah.
I think was it Agent Zero's and the character they put in there. That I'm not 100%. I think they allude to the lady, the scientist being the woman that's was it the Alpha Flight guy's wife? I think that she
Yeah,
becomes.
but they didn't really like name
Yeah,
her
they
that.
didn't really go
No.
through all that. Yeah, but like you see, like the character kind of, she has a basically like a 1-to-1 if you kind of draw the lines
Yeah.
yourself. Um, so they do their best to go through that part of the story, and I was telling you, Merc, like, so watching it again, that wasn't really the bad part of the movie. Like the origin story was whatever. Them going through the wars and stuff was, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like, it's just where it falls apart is like after he becomes Wolverine,
Yeah.
and it's like they chose to use a lot of bad CG in the movie, particularly on the claws, because in the last in X2 they used a mix of the prosthetics
Yeah.
and CG, and it just looked better. And in this one, it seems like they used less of that, and they went more CG. I guess because it's cheaper. You know
Yeah.
how they always find out, oh yeah, it's cheaper just to CG, even though it still is expensive as hell. It's less expensive and wasteful than practical effects and stuff. But nah, it did not serve this movie well. There's just too much needless CG, like him driving in a car, and it's like, what? There was nothing happening on the road. Why did you do that? Like, it's a lot of stuff like that. I mean, they tried to explain why he didn't want to be around any of that military stuff, and that he and Silver Fox were living off. She was a teacher, and he was just a woodsman,
Yes.
a lumberjack, if you will. But then they had the whole thing where Stryker basically lied to him and told him that Sabretooth was hunting the members, but I believe it was Stryker cleaning up the mess,
Yeah.
and he was using him to kill everybody. Not really using him because Sabretooth kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But there was also something he was promising Sabretooth
Yeah.
as well. So they had a deal. So he was lying to Logan, and then you find that out. And then so that ends up being how they get him to become Weapon X, is that through those lies and him believing that it was just Sabretooth that killed Silver Fox, he joins to get his revenge, basically. And you know, not for nothing, I'll give them credit. They went through the whole Weapon X scene, and again, that wasn't the worst part of the movie. It's just like, I believe from the point where he leaves the facility, it just goes downhill. It just goes downhill from there, and it basically just becomes just a really bad botched CG fest, full of just bad characters. The way they do Gambit is it's just terrible. They rewrite his origin to have him some reason be involved with the facility that he escaped, and he knows his way around there. I'm like, no, he doesn't. But they decided to do it that way.
Yeah.
They have the Blob be a former member of stuff, and like, no, he wasn't. And then they have this really just not great scene of him boxing Wolverine, but they try to show off their. Was Blob practical effects?
No, yeah, that was practical. Like, he had to wear a fat suit.
See, he looked accurate, scruffy but accurate. Disgusting. So in that to that they did their job. You know what I mean? So, but just Will.i.am as a character that is supposed to be actually relevant.
Yeah.
And which is par for the course for a lot of these movies at this time. They just dispose of a lot of important characters because they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
So they gave it to Will.i.am, and he dies 10 minutes into his portrayal of this character, who is very just, he's just not even significant. He's kind of like a member of something that they were a part of. He tells you, oh yeah, he's basically like an informant. They basically just use this very important character as just for information, and then he gets killed by Sabretooth. Meanwhile, this character is basically a god level character. You know what I mean? Like a demon level character. Yeah. It's like, what the? It's just all around bad CG and bad characterizations of characters that a lot of people really like, and it just leaves a bad taste in you. And then there's the ultimate slap in the face, because I think the rumor was the guy did not like Deadpool.
Yeah.
I think the director did not like Deadpool as a character, and so this is what they decided to do to him, was turn him into Weapon 11, which was just an abomination of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Wasted Ryan Reynolds in the movie. Wasted everybody's time who watched it, because they were anticipating Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like, this was his first cinematic like presentation, and they got the right guy, so many people were hyped. I remember being mad hyped.
Yeah, me too.
And just
I was so
terrible.
disappointed with this movie.
Terrible. Ryan Reynolds probably has like 5 minutes worth of lines, if that, and then it's all just they taped his mouth, they sewed his mouth up and turned him into an abomination. And so it's just like, nah. And basically it's just a dumpster fire from then on to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's not good. It's not good. I wouldn't recommend anybody watch it, except to see what not to do to a superhero movie. Like, like I said, I can give a little bit of credit to the first 30 minutes, I think, of the origin up until him becoming Weapon X.
Yeah.
Because I think they did justice with the Weapon X scene. Like, when you see the molten adamantium going into him, when you see them in the
I think that was
in
the best
Africa.
scene.
Yeah, but when you see him in Africa and they got the people rounded up and they're looking for it, and they explain that it's a meteorite that came down, so you know, because isn't adamantium like a compound?
Yeah, it's a compound.
Because that's I forget what it's the stuff that the Black Panther uses.
Yeah.
Like vibranium and something else mixed.
Yeah, it was but it was made. Like, honestly, it was a mix of things that was made.
That's what the compound is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, cause the meteorite is the vibranium.
Yeah.
Or whatever, that they don't know where it came from, because the guys are saying in the native language it came from the sky.
Yeah.
Like, it was a meteorite, and they still didn't believe them because they thought they were holding out, but like, they were telling them the truth. It came from the sky, stupid.
Yep.
But you know, they go through that whole thing, and it's like that was the only part. The origin was a part that they did justice. Everything else, trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
So what score are you gonna give this movie?
I'm gonna give it a 2.
2. So your 2s consist of Superman Returns, Son of the Mask, Elektra, and Underworld.
Is Underworld at the end of everything?
Yes.
Yeah, put it behind Underworld. No bueno.
Wolverine. Legends. 2. Alright. I think I'm gonna go with the same score. I don't have anything really much to say about this. CGI was really bad. Besides the Wolverine, again, like you said, the Weapon X scene, that's the only good part of this movie. The rest of it is trash. So, Wolverine Origins will get a 2 from me. And that'll be 2. Alright. Next movie on our list is... Seeing that we got that one out the way.
Before you could go forward, I will just say what makes this movie seem even worse is the fact that they did Gambit so bad and still never got a Gambit movie that was supposed to happen so many times.
Nope.
It was just like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But it was Channing Tatum that they wanted to play Gambit too, and I was not sure about that.
And he was so busy. They got one of the most busy dudes in Hollywood. I get it, but like, it's what happens.
Yeah.
Find somebody else.
Yep.
Jesus.
Let's see. Maybe Disney will give him justice eventually.
Hopefully.
Maybe. Who knows?
Because he's a character that could get a whole movie.
Yeah.
Especially if they did the thing with him, like meeting Storm when she was young and stuff.
Yeah. That's true.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, our next movie is Surrogates. This is Bruce Willis, I think. Next movie after that is Whiteout. We got The Defender. We got Paperman, Loser, Iron Man 2, Jonah Hex, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Red, Green Hornet, I Am Number 4, Thor, X-Men First Class, Green Lantern, Captain America.
The next speed bump is First Class. I can't stand that movie.
Jonah Hex is not that bad. It's pretty bad too.
It's probably not worse than First Class to me.
Okay.
So I gotta say.
So
hate that.
Surrogates is I think it's Bruce Willis. It's like a sci-fi.
What is Paperman?
Paperman is with Ryan Reynolds, and it's like a he's like a he's like a dude writes a paper, a comic and stuff like that, and he kind of comes to life, and he's like his subconscious, and he talks to the guy while he's like in a Superman-ish kind of suit, but he just talks shit to him for the most part of the movie and shit. It's a weird movie, but it's really good. It's based off of a comic book.
Okay.
Let's see the trailer. Is this with Jeff Daniels? Yeah, this is with Jeff Daniels. Yeah. So
okay.
he creates the comic, and is like in the subconscious and fucking just argues with him and shit like that. It was a good movie. This is when Ryan Reynolds was doing a lot of like indie stuff. So he did this. He did Chaos Theory. He did The Nines. He did a bunch of movies like that were actually really good, but they were in like mainstream theater kind of shit.
I mean, you see what happened to him when he did mainstream. He butchered him.
Yeah. But he was also like in Blade 3 too, which was kind of the same character, just named differently. He had better lines in that one though.
Yeah, he was he was Deadpool in that movie. This is true.
Yeah. And then we actually got a Deadpool movie down the road at least, so.
Thankfully.
Because I 100% believe he leaked the fucking trailer.
Yeah.
I 100% believe he leaked the trailer. Because if the amount of response that trailer got, Fox had no choice but to put that movie out. Anyway. All right. We'll wrap this up.
Yes, sir. Thank you for listening to another episode of the It Gets Better I Swear podcast. Make sure you follow us anywhere and everywhere. RedCycloneInc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. That is YouTube. That is SoundCloud. That is Spotify. And we got our WordPress. Where you at, Mark?
Thank you for listening. Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch, all Mark with the Mic. Also follow my TikTok of Mark with the Mic. I do a lot of figure photography, comic book, and everything in between. So definitely check it out. Give it a like and follow. I'm almost at 2,000 people, so there you go. Also shout outs to Popcorny Podcast. That's Tenacious T, our fellow cast member. He's does his own side project called Popcorny. He does it with Jeremy, which is Sriracha on his cast. They talk about pop culture and everything else in between, so definitely check it out when you get a chance. It's on Popcorny on SoundCloud and Spotify. Always remember, follow the Jinkies.